Hi, I'm Skip with Aqua Plumbing and Air. You know, it's so important with a company to have a mission and to have vision and values. And our mission statement, when Chuck and I bought the company about 5.5 years ago, we wanted something that reflected what we do, but also the heart of our company. And so our mission statement is to provide safety and comfort while being a light in our community. And what that means to us is that obviously, to provide safety and comfort, safety could be safe drinking water, sanitary systems, safe electrical systems. Comfort would apply to air conditioning comfort, comfort just having, plumbing that operates properly. All those things kind of tie into plumbing, air conditioning, and electrical. But to be a light in our community is especially the heart of this company, because we want all of our interactions with our own employees, but when we deal with our clients in the marketplace, we want to make sure that that experience is a positive experience, that we brighten their day. We encourage our people to, engage in conversation, to smile. Just a simple smile can make such a difference. Even engage in prayer if that's what the customer needs. We just really want to brighten their day, and that goes with our relationships with our vendors. We want that same experience, even though some people might think that they're serving us. It's not that way. We want to make sure that we are a positive impact on every interaction, on every relationship that we have as a company. Companies need to have a vision, and something that really resonated with Chuck and I, again, when we bought the company, was our heart for children that go hungry. And it just seems unimaginable in especially the Sarasota and Manatee area, with the affluence that we have in this community, to have children going hungry. So we felt like that would be a really worthy cause to get behind, and which helped us create our vision, which is a business that lives beyond the current owners and leads the community in ending childhood hunger and worthy causes. With that in mind, we created the Aqua Cares Foundation, which simply is a nonprofit organization that any money that we raise through fundraising events, through whatever we can do, that money, 100% of that will go to the charities that align themselves with ending childhood hunger. And so we're excited about that. We're excited to have something that helps put guardrails on our giving, helps direct the money where we want it to go, and helps Aqua Plumbing and Air be just a good steward of the resources that we've been blessed with, and to be able to share that with our community.
Hi, I'm Doug Staley, Executive Director for the Child Protection Center, and I've been blessed to be part of CPC for the past 28 years, and we are actually in our 43rd year as a dedicated nonprofit. Let me share a little bit of what we do as an organization. All we do is the prevention, intervention, and treatment of child abuse. So we have programs that are out in the community, in the schools, doing a variety of curriculum to equip our kids with the skills necessary to address child abuse and prevention and bullying and all those important factors that they're dealing with. And then we also are on the first-hand side working with law enforcement and DCF with child abuse cases. So we're that first line of experts doing the medical exams, the forensic interviews, determining abuse that has happened and making recommendations for those families. And then when we do identify abuse, we have the therapy team and expertise to provide trauma treatment to these families, to help them go from child victim to survivor to one that thrives. And now we say we want these kids to be warriors and be able to continue out there in their community. We also have another intervention program that's called our supervised visitation program. So if a parent, the only way they can see their child is it's court ordered to be supervised, we provide that supervision both in Sarasota and Northport. And it's just so important that those kids maintain that relationship with their families as they're going through this process. So it's very vital with the core services that we're providing. And a new component to our therapy is we are now serving adults who are victims of child abuse that never received treatment. We know that this is absolutely important for the overall healing, and those adults have been oftentimes stuck because they never got the treatment they need. So we're providing those core services in our community to meet those needs. The other thing I just want to share is that we're expanding. The growth, I'd love to say we're going out of business because the need's not there. That's not the case. We know that this community, this region is growing. Northport's the second fastest growing region in the nation, and we're growing in that area as well. So the need and our services have a higher demand than we've ever had in our history. So we're continuing to add the professional staff and the services to meet the growing need to be here so that we can help those families with all of our core services through prevention, intervention, and treatment.
Hi, my name is Rachel Bradley. I'm the Director of Philanthropy at All Faiths Food Bank. So our role at the food bank is to identify, secure, distribute, and assist. To identify those neighbors that are having difficulty accessing food and like-minded organizations that may work directly with those individuals. To secure that food in our warehouse and inspect it before it goes out to those like-minded organizations like church pantries, school pantries, Boys and Girls Clubs, Salvation Army, and directly to those individuals. And then the last thing is to assist those individuals. We don't want the food bank to be a long-term solution for families, so to help them better stabilize their economic situation, we connect them with different resources, whether that be governmental or local, with claims and benefits specialists, so that they have a better path to their future. And we are so excited to partner with Aqua. This organization is beyond helpful to our community in the fact that they stepped up. We wish more organizations would do as much as they do for us. Imagine a food bank, the largest disaster relief organization in the community and the only food bank serving Sarasota and DeSoto counties with a staff of just 70. Aqua comes to our aid by helping us support more than 3,000 volunteers perform 48,000 hours of service to our community every single year. More importantly, we know that their passion is involving children and helping our children in our community. This summer alone, there are going to be 45,000 children in our community that are going to need our help, school-aged and non-school aged. And we know that we can rely on Aqua to help step up and make sure that these children are fed not only on the weekends when school are in session, but also during the summer months by helping us provide backpacks, also snacks for different early learning centers, the schools that are open or the school pantries that are open. We are now running on a 16th school pantry opening during the summer to be able to help families that need us so much. Last year alone, our food bank was able to distribute 20.9 million pounds of groceries, which is the equivalent of 18 million meals. That's something that can't be done without the help of an entire community rallying around. And even though they're in our backyard here at the food bank, we feel their arms wrapped around us all year round.
Christy Skoglund, CEO of the Florida Center for Early Childhood. I wanted to tell you a little bit today about what the Florida Center does and some of the amazing work we're doing in our community to support young children and their families. The Florida Center's been around for a very long time, since the late 70s, and we continue today to serve families with children birthed through elementary school. Many of the ways that we serve children and families is through our therapy department. We have therapies from behavioral health to what we call developmental therapies like OT, occupational therapy, and speech-language pathology. The early years for children are so critical. The brain is developing so fast, and we know because of our mission that getting in there early is where you can really see a lot of big changes. Several of the programs that we offer in the community collaborate with other partners like Aqua, and a lot of the support that we get helps to cover a lot of the services that we have. We have a preschool, which we call an inclusion model preschool, and we have one located in Northport and Sarasota. And that preschool inclusion means that we have children with developmental disabilities or diagnosed disabilities, and we have typical children without any kind of diagnosis. And what we've learned from the research is that children with diagnosed disabilities, they learn and come along faster with their same age peers. So you know how expensive, if you have young children, you know how expensive childcare can be. So support can help families who may be struggling or maybe just move to the area, or who knows. We have a lot of hard times right now in our community with everything I don't need to tell you about. So families definitely rely on support for those kinds of things. We have families who desperately need behavioral health. I don't know that people realize how children are expelled from preschool. So behavioral challenges in young children is a real thing. Children are expelled from preschool at an alarming rate, 4 times that of children K through 12. And so when you have a child that young that's bouncing around from preschool to preschool, the families suffer. They can't work. They're having to come get their child. And so those families need help, and many of them have trauma. And one of the things that the Florida Center focuses on is trauma. We are a trauma-informed, trauma-resilient organization, and we get in there and really help the families kind of dissect and peel back that onion to see where this trauma, how this trauma has affected not only the child, but the family. And many of us know that parents come into parenting with their own trauma, and so we have home visiting services that go out into the home and help at-risk families who are raising young children so that they can lay the solid foundation that children need to grow and become healthy. We have the state's only fetal alcohol spectrum disorder clinic, and that clinic is to help children who are born with prenatal exposure to alcohol and other substances learn how to grow and develop. Unfortunately, that damage is lifelong, but we know from research that the brain can grow new pathways, and our job is to help parents and others in the community that are supporting that child to teach that child, and through accommodations in his or her environment, to learn how to be supported by the adults around them so that brain can learn how to adapt and create new strategies to be successful at home and school.
Hi there. Bridge of Life is a local nonprofit that supports foster and adoptive families as well as relative and non-relative caregivers. We've also recently entered the prevention space, which means we're helping keep kids at home with their families whenever it's safe to do so. We wrap around families in a variety of ways. We offer home improvement projects, financial assistance, trauma-informed training, meal delivery, childcare, and really we're always scanning our community to also find where there may be gaps or inefficiencies in the system and asking ourselves, is somebody else doing this work already? Is it something that we can join, or is this a space that we need to step into to help keep kids and families safe? We look for volunteers and donors for all of our programs, really. Our board is highly involved and our staff is small, and that means that all of the programs that we offer families, we rely heavily on volunteers to help us wrap around and support the families and children that we serve. If you're interested in anything from swinging a hammer to cooking a meal to rocking a baby, we can find a place for you in our programs, and would love to talk to you more about that after this event. A recent example that may interest you is we had a local foster family who said yes to a very temporary placement of a couple of little ones. And as happens sometimes in foster care, that very temporary placement ended up being a potential forever home for those couple of kiddos. And so the sleeping arrangements that they had were no longer sufficient. We like to say that this family's heart was bigger than their home. And so they were open to adopting these little ones, but they didn't have the space. So we were able to lean into some of our volunteers and community partners, a general contractor specifically, and he made a site visit to the home and talked about a lot of different options for this family, and finally figured out that there was some existing space in their garage that they could convert into a bedroom. So that's an example of a really big home improvement project. They're not always like that. Sometimes it's yard work or painting a nursery or putting together some bunk beds. But families ask us for what they need, and we see what we can do. So each year, because we want to raise awareness of the need for more foster and adoptive families locally, we put on the Superhero 5K at Nathan Benderson Park. It's a fun run and a 5K run, and we try to do everything we can to have different child welfare partners there set up, different sponsors like Aqua, so many people from the community. We had over 1,100 runners this year, and our goal really is to raise awareness of the need for more foster families in our community. We chalk the first names of every child in foster care at the start-finish line, and we line the course with quotes and statistics and inspirational sayings to get people to think about the importance of pouring into children who come from hard places.
Meals on Meals Plus is like a giant umbrella, and we operate 4 major programs under that umbrella: Home Delivered Meals, the Food Bank of Manatee, Daybreak Adult Day Center, and our Friendship Dining Centers. So Home Delivered Meals, we are currently serving 900 clients across 90 different routes in Manatee County every single week. The Food Bank of Manatee serves 85 pantries who in turn do food distributions throughout Manatee County, serving families and children in need. The Adult Day Center, we are the only licensed adult day center offering daycare and respite for caregivers right here in Manatee County, and we're licensed for 100 clients. And our Friendship Dining Centers, we operate in 2 locations in Manatee County, offering a half day of social activities and nutrition and fun for seniors who otherwise would live alone and not have some socialization. So all of these programs are under the umbrella of Meals on Meals Plus, and we couldn't do it without the great support of our community partners like Aqua. At the Food Bank of Manatee, we have unique programs providing emergency food for families in crisis, as well as every week baby food, diapers, wipes, baby formula to families who, again, just can't afford food, they can't afford diapers. So both for our home delivered meal clients as well as the Food Bank emergency baskets, we provide pet food because we know that if people can't afford food for themselves, and they receive a meal, they're going to give that meal to their pet. So we make sure our clients have pet food, whether it's a cat or a dog, and we make sure that their furry friends are taken care of as well. I recently was in the home of one of our home clients, and literally they had no food. And they were begging us to bring food on a Friday night. And when we delivered the food, there absolutely was nothing in their refrigerator. And there are so many cases of children and families who do not and cannot afford food right now, especially what we saw in the last year with the inflation, gas prices, rental prices, even the cost of food. So the programs of Meals on Meals Plus are essential for people who are in need right here in Manatee County.